Welcome everybody inside of Paycom Center alongside Royce Young. I am Paris Lawson. Game one of the first round officially behind us, and the Thunder now 1-0 in this series against the Phoenix Suns with a very dominant win. And to be exact, the fourth largest playoff win in OKC history, a 35-point win. And Royce, I don't know what your massive takeaways on this were, but I thought the Thunder won this game by winning the possession battle in this one.
And that's been the story of this team for multiple seasons, Paris.
Yeah.
And really, you know, we've kind of seen this story before with the Thunder in postseason basketball. There's a lot of areas I'm sure that Coach Mark and the staff are going to want to clean up. The players themselves, not the most efficient offensive game. But one thing that we know about postseason basketball, really postseason sports all over, is when you play defense, you can be effective. And this Thunder team came out with a defensive energy and intensity. That is the calling card of this team. And they've just been so good about the defensive end, and that's what really carried the day in this game one.
Yeah, the defensive pressure really from both teams was on full display. The Thunder just winning that by a significant margin, 34-2 in points off turnovers in this game here today. All right, let's get you over to the press room so you can hear from Thunder head coach Mark Daigneault, who's at the... You heard Coach Daigneault. The series is 1-0, but really it's 0-0 at this point. Time to turn the page because, to his point, the Thunder has a lot of familiarity with this team. They played 5 times in the regular season and was the most recent regular season matchup. So this has been a quick turnaround for the Phoenix Suns after they played in the play-in tournament, and now they're going to get some rest, and they're definitely going to be a hungry team and well-rested on Wednesday.
Yeah, that was a big takeaway from Coach Mark there, is that, you know, with the Suns having their quick turnaround, now there's the 2 days off. There's a lot of things that can change. You always got to win the days in between. That's been a theme of this Thunder team throughout every postseason series, is about improving throughout the series. You want to become a better team between games 1 and 2, and then as you carry on. But, you know, a big thing that Coach Mark said was what we were talking about too. The defense was critical in this game. The Thunder didn't shoot the ball well. A lot of things to clean up and be better at, but that defensive mentality is always going to be important as you transition into game 2 and further in this series.
Yeah, if you're not going to shoot the ball well, you can always rely on your defense, and the Thunder's defense has been top of the league all season long, showing up huge in this matchup here against the Phoenix Suns in game 1 of the first round. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with a Thunder player right after this thing. As you can see, joining us now here on Thunder Playoff Postgame, it's AJ Mitchell. And AJ, what a game, what an environment we had inside of here. I just want to get your overall perspective walking onto this court and being in front of this crowd for this first playoff game here today.
It was great. I mean, obviously we have the best fans in the league, so walking out here was pretty exciting. But it was a great game overall. I think we did what we were supposed to do, and now we're focused on game 2.
You know, AJ, you got a little bit of a taste of postseason basketball, very small one last year, but now obviously a bigger role for you. What was it like for you, and what was kind of your mindset coming into the game and making the difference that you clearly did on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, I mean, I think my mindset was the same it's been this whole year, is just being aggressive, playing the way I always play, and trying to make winning plays, helping this team win in any way I can. So that was really the focus.
Yeah, you guys really won the possession battle in this game, which felt like it was really important, given the fact that you weren't shooting the ball particularly well, except for you. You knocked down 3 threes in this game, 2 really timely ones in the second quarter. What were you feeling out there in terms of your shot and your production?
I mean, just feeling great. Obviously, just letting the game come to me and focusing on winning, really. And I mean, I'm glad the shots went in. Glad we got the win. And yeah, you know, excited for game 2.
Obviously, Phoenix presents a lot of challenges with Booker and all the perimeter players, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks. They're great shooters, and you guys really had to battle through and make them play in a crowd. What was key in disrupting their offense and really kind of making them turn into jump shooters over contested hands?
Yeah, I mean, that was the focus. Obviously, they're great offensive players. They can score, and we were focused on that. On how can we stop them? How can we avoid letting them play comfortably, and that was really the focus.
They're a really good pressure team in terms of their defense as well, a lot of great perimeter defenders, and you guys did a really good job taking care of the ball in this game here tonight. What was key for you guys to make sure that you weren't giving them any easy looks out in transition there?
Yeah, I mean, I think being strong with the ball, you know, it's a physical team, and they're always in the gaps. They try to go for steals, you know. So you got to be strong with the ball and take care of it. And I think our ball movement was great, and we were physical too. So that was important.
It obviously looked like a big part of what their focus was Iguodala was big, kind of on the offensive glass, but you guys also came up with a number of offensive rebounds. How important, Paris mentioned the possession battle, but just those second chance opportunities that you obviously want to limit on one end, but you want to take advantage of on our end as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important. Obviously, I think it's one of the keys, trying to get more possessions than the opponent, and I think the Suns did a good job offensive rebounding, so that's something that we want to look at. But obviously, I think we did it too on the offensive glass, and that was important for us.
Yeah, obviously, you've been around J. Will a lot. I just want to get your perspective on his full court, last second, just QB1 pass to Chet for the three. I know you've seen that before, but what did you think of that possession?
He's QB1. He's QB1. He knows how to throw those and get him on target. So glad he did it today.
One thing I wanted to ask you, AJ, is, for somebody like Dub, who obviously has had kind of a disjointed season trying to find his rhythm, and he came in and made a huge impact, but also the minutes that you played together with him, how much has that chemistry built between you two guys, being able to play more minutes on the floor, kind of as, going back and forth between ball handling and creating?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I love playing with Dub. I'm glad we got him back here healthy, but it's always fun to play with a lot of pace and kind of, having two ball handlers. He can bring the ball up, I can bring the ball up, and we can both create, and it's always fun. So he's huge for us, and I'm glad he's here.
Well, AJ, congratulations on the win, and thank you so much for taking the time out to bring some insight to our viewers here today. Great game, and good luck in Game 2.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right. We're great from hearing from AJ, a great Thunder guard. Let's send it over to another great Thunder guard who is at the podium right now there from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander post-game here tonight. And he brought up a lot of great points and the fact that this team, they said it, didn't shoot the ball very well, but it didn't really matter because the defense was there, and that's where this team wants to hang their hat every night anyway.
I love the way that he kind of put it, Paris, talking about just the make or miss volatility. We talk about that all the time.
Exactly.
It's a very understood thing that, you want to shoot the ball great and you want to, knock down the open rhythm looks that you're able to generate, but some nights it just doesn't go in, and statistically some nights you make the shots you shouldn't make. But one thing that you can really control is your energy, your effort, your togetherness. I love that Shai pointed that out, the togetherness of the group. There were so many defensive possessions, Paris, where you could see that it wasn't even verbal communication, it was the unverbal communication where they were switching, they were dialed in, they were helping one another. There was a play early in the second half where J-Dub went for a steal, didn't get it, and it looked like, oh man, the Suns are going to have an advantage here to play. Instead, Cason Wallace was right there to pick up Dub. And so those sorts of things you can control, and that's what the Thunder really leaned on throughout this game.
It also speaks to the depth of the Thunder's defensive arsenal, that they have a lot of guys who are elite on-ball players and defenders. And for this group to have that is an advantage that they have used in this game and all season long on full display in this matchup against the Suns here today. All right, let's get you back over to the press. Great stuff there from Chet Holmgren here on Thunder Playoff Post-Game Show. And I'm glad that we got a chance to hear from Shai and from Chet Holmgren as well, because those two guys, great games in this one. And Chet in particular, his activity early on in this game, 10 points in the first quarter, 6 boards, I believe, as well, and a couple of blocks. I mean, so much activity from him. Just
looked decisive, smooth. So many of the things that we've seen from Chet all season long, Paris, just the improvement that he made. I love the way that Shai talked about it, and it's really just the mindset of Chet is that the player you saw from Chet Holmgren today is the worst version of him that he's going to be, because his mindset is to be better, not just tomorrow, but obviously in Game 2. And I love that he also pointed out, there's a lot of talk about J. Will and his arm and the throw that he made. Chet was quick to point out, hey, his wide receiver went up and got it. You got to give CeeDee Lamb out there some credit for catching the ball, too. You can't just always give it to the quarterback. So Chet Holmgren got it. But again, that was a great example of how decisive he looked. His jump shot looked great. He looked fresh. And, Chet Holmgren, again, just the improvement that he's made all season long, taking advantage of some of the mismatch stuff. Phoenix tried to cross-match on him a number of times. Anytime he got Booker or one of those smaller players on him, Chet was decisive, going right at him in the mid-post. I love seeing that from Chet. Yeah, great stuff from him. And I love what he talked about, too, about how important it is to set a tone, especially in a series like this where it's multiple games. But in general, the Thunder just wants to be a team that comes out and throws the first punch, sets a tone from the outset. That's going to help you down the road. No question about it. And then, but again, Chet was quick to say, Paris, that, it doesn't matter if you win this game by 1 point or 30 points or whatever it is. You go go up 1-0 in the series, and that's the point of it. But, you do want to come out. Phoenix talked a lot about it coming into this game that, they wanted to come into Oklahoma City. Every road team thinks about stealing one of these two games. A lot of times game one is kind of the one where you're most vulnerable to it.
Yeah.
Thunder have been off for a week. Maybe even though Phoenix was on shorter rest, they're also a little bit more in rhythm, and the Thunder did a great job of absorbing any of that and really snuffing that out as the game went along and taking control of it early. But again, you got to flip the page. You got to get ready for game two. The road team's always looking to steal one of the two.
Yep.
So Phoenix still has that opportunity ahead of them in game two.
One thing we know for sure, every game in a playoff series has a tendency to take on a life of its own. This is no exception. So the Thunder looking to get back to 0-0. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll hear from Isaiah Hartenstein.